There is an important battle brewing in Missouri. A growing number of voices say the state is about to put an innocent man to death. I want to show you to him to you. This man, Marcellus Williams, is set to be executed by lethal injection tomorrow night for the stabbing death of a woman. Her name is Lisha Gale in 1998, but his attorney says brand new DNA evidence shows that Williams was not the killer, but this new evidence is being ignored. He has asked the U.S. Supreme Court for a stay of execution. I want to welcome Kent Gibson. He's the attorney for Marcellus Williams. This is one of those stories that really gets you. So you have reached out to the state Supreme Court for a stay of execution. What are they saying?
The state Supreme Court denied a stay. The case is now in front of the United States Supreme Court. And of course, we've asked the governor of Missouri to stop the execution. And he either can commute his sentence, he can grant him a new trial, or he can have an independent board of inquiry examine the evidence in the case.
We've reached out to the governor's office. We didn't get a response in time for air. I mean, when I look at this case, and I'm no legal mind, you are, sir, it wasn't even rock solid. The case against your client wasn't rock solid from the beginning. No physical evidence. No DNA on the weapon, or the DNA on the weapon wasn't his. The bloody footprint at the murder scene wasn't his. A different shoe size. The hair fibers found were not his. How did this, I mean, it looks egregious. How come justice was not served here? What is your take on this?
Well, I think there are a lot of failures of the system. This is a case out of St. Louis County, the same venue that the infamous Ferguson incident happened a couple of years ago. The prosecution team there have a history of excluding African Americans from juries. This was a high-profile case involving a murder of a wealthy white woman in a gated community by an African American. His lawyer was admittedly unprepared and has signed an affidavit to that effect. So apart from the DNA that we feel totally exonerates him, there are a lot of other problems with this case that are endemic to the problems of the criminal justice system, particularly in St. Louis County of Missouri.
Boy, it's interesting how many stories we hear out of St. Louis County and ones that repeat what you're talking to us. And even problematic about the jury. The jury was made up of 11 white people and only one African American, even though there was an effort to get more African Americans on this jury, and that failed too.
Right. The prosecution in St. Louis County have had a history of excluding black persons from jury service, and they've been called on the carpet for it many times, but they still seem to get away with it in the vast majority of cases. But the bottom line in this case is I cannot imagine a stronger case of innocence that could get presented, and that's what I've told the Supreme Court. Because in most cases where you have exonerating evidence from DNA, the state will grant you a new trial. And this is the first case I've ever seen that had to go this far.
I know you've been getting some support from Sister Helen Prejean, well-known opponent of the death penalty. Of course, she was made famous by Dead Man Walking. I know the Innocence Project there in Missouri has taken up your case as well. You've got calls into the governor. I mean, you're doing everything you can. Are you still feeling hopeful?
I'm hopeful that the system will find it constitutionally intolerable to execute somebody when there's any serious doubt that they're guilty. And I think there is truly serious and reasonable doubts as to whether he committed this crime. And under any civilized system, that it would be intolerable to execute somebody where there's still doubt that he did it.
DNA evidence shows that he was not involved in this crime from all accounts. It seems like such an oversight, and that there's just a series of missteps here. Justice is not being served. Please let us know when you get word. Kent Gibson, the attorney for Marcellus Williams, this is a situation we needed to get on the air because this cannot stand. Thank you for your time, sir, and thank you for your work.